Thanks for joining us here on 13 News at noon. I'm Dustin Grove. We begin with big news from the State House today. Governor Braun has called a special session for lawmakers to consider congressional redistricting. This would involve redrawing our 9 districts, something normally done after the census every 10 years. I want to put a statement up on the screen here. In a statement this morning, Braun said, "I am calling a special legislative session to protect Hoosiers from efforts in other states that seek to diminish their voice in Washington and ensure their representation in Congress is fair." This is all part of a push from the White House we've been telling you about to make sure Republicans keep the majority in the U.S. House during next year's midterm election. The GOP has a very slim majority right now, and historically, the party in power has lost House seats during midterms. Losing just a handful could put a Republican majority in jeopardy. Supporters for redistricting say Democrats have gerrymandered their states for years, so Republican states need to do the same to balance the maps. To that end, President Trump and Vice President Vance have been working the phones. Vance visited lawmakers here twice, encouraging them to redraw our congressional maps to pick up 2 more Republican seats next year. 7 of our 9 districts are already Republican. Texas, North Carolina, and Missouri have already adopted new maps meant to give the GOP more seats. Ohio, Kansas, Nebraska, Louisiana, and Florida are all Republican-controlled states considering it, along with Indiana. In response, Democrat-controlled Illinois, New York, Virginia, and Maryland, along with California, they're all considering their own partisan redistricting pushes. I talked with Lieutenant Governor Micah Beckwith about it for this weekend's episode of Crossroads Politics.
I think for years we've had this idea that if we're just nice, everyone else will be nice. And unfortunately, that's not the world we live in. I think Donald Trump, one of the greatest presidents in our lifetime, in my opinion, he's shown the Republican Party how to fight fire with fire.
When does it end? At what point does it end? If you're saying, okay, we'll do this now mid-cycle, well, who's to say then under a Democratic administration we flip the script and in another 2 to 4 years we're here all over again?
What this will do, and what I hope it does, it forces the Supreme Court to make rules that everybody plays by across the board. So this is a good step because it's going to force the Supreme Court to get involved. Absolutely. I think that's a good thing. I would be against redistricting if I could trust our states, our fellow states like Illinois and California and New York to all play by the same rules. The problem is they're not. And so it's going to take the Supreme Court to get involved. So for Indiana to do this right now, this is one more step to say, Supreme Court, we need you to tell us the rules that everybody plays by. And at that point, then the issue's solved.
Governor Braun now making it official. Indiana will hold a special legislative session starting November 3rd, although it remains to be seen whether there are currently enough votes in the Senate to get it passed. A spokeswoman for Senate Republicans told our partners at the Capitol Chronicle the votes are not yet there. Our State House reporter Emily Longnecker is on this story today. She's going to have the very latest for us starting at 4 o'clock, and of course we'll post it online. There's a big write-up on this and the background on it at WTHR.com. Now, Lindsay's here with a look at the forecast. Good to see you, Lindsay.
All right. Yes, good Monday to you. Very similar setup compared to what we had around yesterday. We're going to have some lingering clouds, southern portions of the state of Indiana, that better chance for at least a few stray showers. So we'll take you out live to Carmel this afternoon, and that's where we've had, again, mainly cloudy skies so far today. We've got to go all the way down to the Ohio River Valley, places like Vincennes, to the south of Bedford, to pick up on where we are seeing a little bit of some of this very light rainfall out there right now. It's trying to work its way northward into, again, our very southernmost counties here in central Indiana. I think a bulk of that moisture, though, is going to stay at bay to our south for today. We've been watching that storm complex to our south, bringing in some increased clouds as well as the shower activity to our south. But it's going to be a secondary storm system that comes in off the Rocky Mountains as we get into Tuesday night into Wednesday that will bring more organized and potentially more widespread rainfall across central and again southern Indiana by midweek. 53 in the meantime as we head outside this afternoon, and temperatures will be on the upward trend for today. Looks like most of us top out lower 60s this afternoon. So again, pretty similar to yesterday. Got the latest rain timeline as we head closer to your Halloween holiday and all of those festivities. We'll break down that latest timeline coming up in just a bit.
All right, we'll see you then, Lindsay. Thank you. New this afternoon, Capitol Police are asking for your help in locating 2 tortoises that were stolen from the Indianapolis Zoo. Both of them, an Egyptian tortoise and a northern spider tortoise, you see them both on the screen here, They're currently listed as critically endangered species. Officials say the two were taken earlier this month in the morning hours, sometime between October 11th and October 12th. The tortoises are microchipped, so that's a good thing. And the Egyptian tortoise has a distinctive scar on its underside. Of course, anybody with information on the theft is asked to call either the Capitol Police or Crime Stoppers. A bicyclist is dead after a crash with a car on the city's south side. It happened around 6:45 this morning on Carson Avenue. This is a look at the scene. Metro Police say medics took the cyclist to the hospital in critical condition where he died. They say the road was really dark when the crash happened. Now they're emphasizing road safety for both cyclists and drivers.
Your bicycle has to have a light on it. Know the rules of the road. Should you be biking with traffic, against traffic? It is your responsibility to know that. And again, this is just such a sad accident. We appreciate that the driver of the striking vehicle is on scene and cooperating with our investigation. And our hearts go out to all of the people that have been impacted by this incident.
Right now, we're working to learn the name and the age of the bicyclist who was killed. We're learning more about a deadly crash on I-70. This happened last night near Emerson Avenue around 9:30. State police say a car and a semi-truck collided in the eastbound lanes. According to INDOT, at least one person died. That man has been identified as Juan Carlos Velez Gonzalez. Lanes in the area are now back open this afternoon. A person is dead in Morgan County after an unusual crash involving two cars and a deer. Morgan County Sheriff's Office deputies there say a car was traveling north on State Road 67 near Paragon when it hit a deer. The deer was reportedly then sent flying into the southbound lane into traffic there, killing the passenger inside another car. We're working to learn the name of the person who was killed in that crash as well. Turning now to a single car crash on the west side. Our crew was there on Kessler Boulevard as crews worked to clean up that wreck. You can see that car stuck underneath an AES power line. The front windshield is smashed as the car lies on its side. The car seems to have hit that light pole. We know it did take some power lines down too. Metro Police tell us the driver of the car was not hurt, thankfully, and AES will repair that pole sometime today. And IMPD is also announcing the arrest of a woman for allegedly crashing into an elementary school. Officers say this happened just after 2 this morning on Spring Mill Road. They say they found a car crashed into Spring Mill Elementary School. Our crew on the scene says the car went through the doorway of the school. Police say the driver did stay there at the scene and was arrested for operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Another IU fraternity is suspended, accused of hazing at the Bloomington campus. IU police say in this most recent case, at least 3 people were hurt during hazing at Alpha Epsilon Pi and needed medical attention. Officers were alerted of the 3 hazing incidents between September 20th and October 12th. Police have not named any individual suspects. An IU spokesperson confirms the university's police department is launching a criminal investigation. Just last week, we reported that Phi Kappa Psi was suspended for hazing allegations as well.